I have been a Moreland resident for about 14 years now, and riding for a lot of that up and down the Upfield bike path, and particularly in summer, getting that incredible heat wave effect of the glaring sunlight and just dripping with sweat, and realising, this is ridiculous. We've got this kind of major bike path with no shade, and just identifying all these spots where trees could be grown, and kind of having this fantasy that maybe something could be done, and then realising that there was already work happening to start to reforest the area. So down at Jules Station for 25 years there's been work planting out that area.
So this park's been Jules Station Planting Group we were before we joined the Upfield Urban Forest. We've been here since 1992, and the group got together because at the time the government was going to close the train line. So there was a friend of mine who's not involved with it now, but she started it to get people attached to the train line and to the land surrounding it. I've lived here for 30 years into this neighbourhood, just on 30 years in this neighbourhood. It seemed like a great way to get to know some friends. In fact, some of my good friends today is what I met when I turned up here nearly 30 years ago.
Kind of as you go up, you find kind of Denise's patch just a bit further up from here, where she's been kind of putting flowers in, and then Rani's patch, where she's got this kind of permaculture garden going.
I'm putting some edible tree, and I'm introducing, like today you had three kind of green vegetables, all are edible weed. So community usually they help me, they're helpful. But everybody is busy, but regardless of otherwise they very like, I take water from my neighbor. She's very happy to give the water like that. So plant other things, sometimes people donate to me and I plant it, and sometimes I buy like this.
It was very exciting to find out that this really ugly stretch of railway line was actually being transformed into something that could actually be really beautiful. Not just beautiful to sort of walk through and every time you caught the train, but also providing habitat for creatures and birds. And sometimes you come and the eucalypts are out, the birds are squawking. It's fantastic. So for me, it's really about as a community caring about where you live, and for me personally it's about making a contribution towards that as part of the community.
I've been riding my bike down this pathway for years, and it used to be a blasted wasteland with nothing but broken glass, and then I learned that a workmate was doing some planting down here, and I watched it turn from a total wasteland into a really vibrant green space, particularly at the station, Brunswick, and all of these trees were not here 10 years ago.
I got involved with the Upfield Urban Forest about 2 years ago because I knew there was a need to plant trees. There's a need to green the barest railway line in Melbourne. I enjoy coming here when I can every week. I've had a few months off. Just life gets in the way sometimes, but you just come when you can. And I think being around plants and being around people of similar desire helps you grow as a human.
I guess the vision for this particular railway line is to create a continuous vegetation corridor between Royal Park and Faulkner Cemetery, and that vegetation, the aim is that the indigenous plants, be shade trees, be food forests, be beautiful shrubs for birds. So it's kind of a really kind of mixed idea, and we're really working with local people's interests.
I started working almost the same time at council, and I found that there was nobody who actually supported community groups in between the two creeks. So informally I just provided support where I could as well. So you've often got these spaces in urban environments where they sit on the boundary between different authorities and organisations, and therefore nobody cares. So there's been it's a complete gap, and the community has stepped up to fill that gap. There wouldn't be trees for most part of the train line, and those trees are now starting to grow up and provide cooling for the whole urban heat island, but also shade for making people feel more comfortable riding along and walking along this path.